made you decide to do For the Love of Ray J?
That was funny actually. I had actually been out of the modeling industry for a while because I was a new mom. And one day I went and got my hair cut. First time I had my hair short in a long time. And I got a call to go to casting for Flavor of Love. And I was like, oh no, never. I said, I just can't do it. And then like a few days later, that same person called me and said they're casting for the Love of Ray J. Would you do that? And I said, absolutely, put me on. So I was like, I got a new haircut, new me. I'm gonna go out to this casting. Happened to go out to the casting, and the casting director was one of the guys that casted me for Playboy several times. So when I got there, he already knew who I was. So it was kind of cool. Long story short, I ended up getting a phone call that I was going to be on For the Love of Ray J and to go get my background check and all of that good stuff.
Background check? Oh, make sure you're not a basket case.
Yeah, they want to make sure that you're sane. You have to go get a background check. You have to get what are those things? They check to make sure you're sane, basically. I had to do. There's a process before you can go on any reality show.
And if I'm not mistaken, the minute you move into wherever the house was at by Paramount Studios or Universal City, you're not allowed to have a cell phone. Am I correct?
Oh, we taped in Pasadena, and no, we have no communication with the outside world unless it's on their telephones, which is completely wired, and everyone can hear your conversation through the TV because your conversation is being taped. So we weren't allowed to have magazines, we weren't allowed to have cell phones, we weren't allowed to watch TV, we weren't allowed to do anything besides the activities that they gave us within the house.
Feels like you're in jail.
Yeah, pretty much. There was no contact with the outside world. I mean, and you know, that's the way you keep drama going and keep everyone, you know, interested in taping for the show, you know, because if there's other distractions, people are going to be on their cell phone, they're going to be playing games, or, you know, doing what we do, social media, all of that good stuff. So
just imagine if that show was shot today.
Right.
And then if I'm not mistaken, once you leave the show while they're still filming, you're on the gag order. You can't discuss the ending. Am I correct?
Can't discuss anything. We are absolutely under contract for 2 years. I was under contract for 2 years with VH1. I wasn't able to do any other shows. I wasn't able to pretty much do anything within that 2 years. And yes, when you leave the show, you are absolutely not allowed to talk about the outcome of the show or anything that you did on the show. Can't post
until
nothing.
We see it as it comes along.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So basically, you were shackled for 2 years.
Well, the show came out, I want to say
2009. That's where I first met you.
Yeah, and I taped in 2008. So I want to say like 8-9 months went by when before the show. Oh,
so you was almost free by the time it came on the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And how did you feel when you had to leave the house?
I felt like I got set up actually on that show. I knew it was coming. I knew that when they started questioning about me being married, and I think it was Danger, one of them was like, oh, she has a tan line on her finger, I think she's married, you know. So I think it was a setup, and they knew when they were going to eliminate me. So
you just took the ride while it
lasted? Yeah, of course. I knew I was gonna either get eliminated for being married, or the fact that I was involved in the adult industry was going to come out. And at that time, being married was the best choice for being kicked off, because I wasn't ready for everyone to know that I was completely immersed in the adult industry, because I always kept my mainstream life separate from the adult life. I have two names, and when I did For the Love of Ray J, everything merged into one, because once everything came out, they're like, oh, did you know she was a porn star? And I'm like, oh, I didn't even know I was a porn star. Okay. So it was like, oh, Gianna Taylor is Sharee English, and Sharee English is Stilts, and like my whole keeping mainstream and adult separate just clashed into one after For the Love of Ray J.
Imagine if you got all the way to the final round
Yeah,
I
that
think they
would've been
wasn't
crazy.
gonna let it get that far.
Yeah, no. Like I said, it was either going to be married or the adult industry that got me kicked off. And actually, on the reunion, Ray J had brought up something about me being an adult, and I was like, "Oh, well, yeah. Next time, you should just let me direct your next movie." I told him on the reunion. So.
The Kim Kardashian tape.
Right, because all of that was, still popular.
Do you keep in touch with him today?
I don't. I run into him every now and again. When I see him, we say hi, give hugs, and go our separate ways. Since he's been married, I haven't ran into him, so, I don't know if he's the same Ray J that he was before.
It's funny, I met Ray J in another lifetime when he was still known as Willie
Mm-hmm.
on the Sinbad show.
That was a long time ago.